So mini games on Animaljam, it's not a very largely talked about part of the game, but there is a lot of them. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's about 40 to 50 of them if you're counting every single mini game, from buddy mini games to regular mini games to even micro games, which is a whole different thing. Regardless, in this video, I'm going to be playing every single mini game that's available in the mini game menu and giving a rating from 1 to 10 on them. And trust me, this is a long video, as you can see already if you already clicked on it. So just sit back, relax, do whatever you want to do, and to just enjoy it. Also, make sure to join the live pink headdress giveaway in the comments and in the description below. Thank you. Okay, enjoy the video. Okay, here we go. So if you're a fan of the channel, you know I have a few videos on the channel that are pretty lengthy, and all of them which share one common trend. It's all very spur of the moment. I just decide to do it, and then I realize halfway through how long the actual video is going to take to record and edit. This time we are going to be playing every mini game in Animaljam Classic. I'm sure I already put some intro near the start of the video, but here we're gonna play every mini game, and I'm gonna rate them out of 10 as we go along. Now, it doesn't look like too many as I'm scrolling through here, but you know, that's what I thought with the AJTOS video. I thought that was only going to take like 15 minutes. That took like half an hour. Yeah, we're gonna start out just in alphabetical order and we'll finish at the bottom with Twister. So yeah, it is kind of awkward. I actually have to go to a full world to actually get somebody to play the bowling mini game with me, but we're starting here with bowling. Now this mini game is actually broken a lot of the time, as in it'll just like perpetually load sometimes. But for the most part, it's pretty good. You know, I'm pretty good at it as well. You know, just strike off the bat right there, bro. And this guy just had a little bit of a blunder here. But look, when this mini game works, it's pretty fun. You know, especially when you're betting as well. Okay, I also had a blunder. Betting is against the Animaljam rules, though, I'm pretty sure. So maybe don't do that. But okay, I just lost my magic touch, I guess, while I was talking. I got too arrogant. Okay, this guy had like a major gutter ball there, though. That was okay. Maybe we'll finish off here with 2 strikes. Okay, we're not finishing off with 2 strikes. Unfortunate. Not finishing off with any strikes. Well, I mean, I imagine I got this one in the bag. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. Never mind. He had a gutter ball again. He had a lot of gutter balls there. But when the game works, I would say it's probably a 7 out of 10. It's not my favorite buddy mini game, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, we have to stay in the full server for the next few mini games, actually, because I don't have any buddies on this account. Not like they'd be online anyway, but hopefully somebody just joins it. Kind of what I'm leaving it up to. Okay, I swapped rooms here, by the way, but like this weird glitch is happening. Like everything is lower frames than it should be. I don't know why this is happening, but I figured I'd throw that into the video. But okay, I have to go to Serapia Forest to get somebody to play this with me. Okay, we have pairs here. This game, it preys on my weak memory, so I don't like it a lot of the time. And also, this guy's just getting insanely lucky. But he kind of blundered there. He could have easily matched something there. But I mean, there you go. He's getting lucky again, bro. It's just maybe I'll run away with this one. It's looking like I will. Okay, never mind. Disregard everything I said. I have the best memory in the game. But pairs, a lot of the time, I'm not a big fan of it. That was a rare occasion where I just swept him. But I'm gonna give that a 4 out of 10. Okay, they obviously didn't like that. They said okay, bro. See, that's how I usually am when I play that game. So I don't know. But we're giving it a 4 out of 10. Now here we got scooped. We're back in Serapia again, by the way. Okay, I already messed up because I'm really bad. But this game is kind of fun to play sometimes because a lot of people that play this game don't have good computers and they usually are on for way too long. So the memory of the game just kind of gets overloaded and they get really laggy. But I won there. Just barely, though. That guy almost won. It was kind of quick, but that's kind of the whole game. It's a fast-paced mini game. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I know Scooped is a fan favorite and all, but personally, it's not my favorite buddy mini game, so it's getting a 6 out of 10. Okay, next here we are marbles. I am not gonna lie to you. This is the most boring, not only buddy mini game, but mini game in general. Okay, it is total orangey half the time. I feel like. Okay, yeah, you see, I knocked out more marbles for them than I did myself somehow. Not only that, this minigame is also broken like bowling, where I'm pretty sure a marble could like just be slowly rolling, that it's almost like not visible that it's rolling, and you could just be stuck forever pretty much. And also stuff like this. What is this? This is more out than in. It should be counted out, bro. Yeah, I don't know what that guy was just doing there. You know, I usually cut these videos up, like, I just kind of cut the dead space up in the video, so you guys don't see, like, the middle parts of me not speaking and stuff, but for this video, I kind of have to show some of those parts where I'm not speaking, because, well, I mean, you saw that guy trying to do that kind of thing there. And I just lose. Like, this is what I lost to. This little marble, I lost to that. This game is it's a 1 out of 10, okay? It sucks, it breaks a lot, and there's some stupid stuff that happens like that, okay? It's a 2 out of 10, and that's me being generous. Okay, we have the shell game here. This mini game usually ends in a draw, because, I mean, this game is made for, like, 7 to 11-year-olds. I'm pretty sure that's the age demographic of Animal Jam, so they don't make it too hard on you, but usually the first and second round people get. It's the third round people usually struggle on, but it's usually always ending in a tie. And as you can see here, yep, we're going the distance with this one. We're going all 3 rounds. Okay, I've got to lock in here. Okay, did it genuinely just go on the left every round? What's happening? Did the game just break? Or did my internet go out? No, my internet is still up. I don't know what's happening here. Oh, I guess I won. I guess the game did break. Okay, well, that's another broken mini game, I guess. That is really dumb. But yeah, that game isn't gonna get highly rated because of the reasons I just said. It's gonna get a 3 out of 10. But we'll take the dub where we can get them. Let's go. Okay, we have rock, paper, scissors here next. I don't know if anybody else is gonna join this minigame in here because the person that was joining my minigames just, I guess they crashed or something. And that's why I won the last game. But I mean, hopefully somebody joins. It's rock, paper, scissors. It takes like 15 seconds to finish this minigame. Yeah, I really cannot wait to get to the solo minigame so I don't have to constantly move around from land to land to try to get somebody to play these dumb minigames with me. It's a really awesome time to have literally no friends that play Animal Jam anymore. I'm glad to see that all these areas are still remaining full after the last month or so, though. Can someone please just play rock, paper, scissors with me? Maybe we need to go back to Serapia. You guys aren't gonna see this part of the video because I'm gonna cut out the silence like I said. Okay, I finally got a game here. Nice. And we're waiting for other player. This game is peak optimization as always. I'm just gonna reload. But yeah, as I said, you're not gonna see the cut silence in between or you know, from when I'm not talking, but it legit took me 4.5 minutes to try to get someone to join rock, paper, scissors with me, and it just crashed like that instantly. So the rating for this is not looking too good. But my strategy usually is just I choose one of the rock, paper, or scissors, and I just go with it for the rest of the game. So far, that is not looking good for me because they just chose paper. Surely they go scissors again. Yeah, okay. See, now it's all on the line. They're gonna think I'm gonna go rock again because I went rock the previous 2 times, and they'd be right in thinking that, but they're gonna overthink it and gonna go scissors again. Okay, I don't like this mini game. No, I don't want to replay. Yeah, that game is just guessing game a whole lot of the time. You know, usually if you're playing rock, paper, scissors in real life, you can usually deduce what someone's probably gonna go, you know, just by looking at them, or like, you know, it's like a mental game almost. With Animal Jam, you're just looking at their animal in the bottom right corner, you know, kind of guessing what they're gonna choose. Are they a rock or are they a paper guy? You never know. Yeah, that game's gonna get a 3 out of 10. I think that's me being generous. I usually have good luck with that game, just not today, unfortunately. Now we're in for a real person's game. 4 gem. Now this could be, by the untrained eye, assumed to be based off of Connect 4. However, we all know Connect 4, the very successful board game, is based off of 4 gem from Animal Jam. And my favorite strategy is usually to just go 3 in the middle, but unfortunately I cannot do that here. I will roll a clip of me doing it on screen because it's always so funny when I'm able to do it because people just rage over it. But if that doesn't work, I usually just end up stacking and try to go for corners. Usually back in the day when, you know, people were doing those betting dens and stuff, 4 gem was like the default game people would use to decide. and what to bet on, obviously. Probably a big reason why it's my favorite game. I just have a lot of memories regarding that. Oh, I just lost. I'm really dumb. See, this is what... Okay, well, okay, never mind. Sleeping Daisy Cloud is dumb. They didn't see. They could have won right here. They might not even see that I have... Okay, they really are blind. Okay. I don't know how I won that, but I really shouldn't have won that. But, you know, you can never beat the 4-gem master, which is me, if you didn't know. That was... GG, I was outsmarted. No, you could have won like 3 times. I don't think they realized that. Well, works for me. 4-gem is gonna get an 8 out of 10. I think that's pretty high. Dude, I'm not that smart. Nah, you're okay. Classy Cloud, I'm sure you're not gonna see this, but you got some smarts. It's okay, bro. It's okay. Okay, spoiler alert, this is not a game I'm pretty fond of either, because it usually ends in a draw as well. A lot of mini games actually, a lot of buddy mini games anyway, it feels like they end in draws. Pairs ends in draws a lot of the time. Shell game, rock, paper, scissors kind of, you know, just has a tiebreaker around it a lot of the time. And marbles actually has a lot of draws now that I'm thinking about it too. Tic Tac Toe is like the worst offender of this though. Okay, they're running away. They don't want to play another mini game with me. So I am now conditioned to go into another land to try find people to play the games with me. Maybe somebody here will play Tic Tac Toe with me. It takes like literally 15 seconds. This is not me exaggerating this time. Usually people do this like strat where you can just, you know, set yourself up to, you know, either go, you know, up or down or whatever. I don't know. I don't have the brain capacity to explain it, to be honest. But as you can see, it just ends in a draw a lot of the time. For that reason, it's getting a 2 out of 10. That's as low as that other mini game that I had like a really strong vendetta towards earlier in the video. So that's how you know it's bad. Okay. Tic Tac Toe sucks. I can finally be left alone now because we're on to single player mini games. We have Fast Foodies up here first. Pretty sure this mini game, it reminds me of a Moshi Monsters mini game. If you know, you know. I'll put some footage on screen, or a picture of it on screen anyway, because I'm sure I have a screenshot from the time I sweated that game. But you just kind of give the customer what they want, take the gems, and then move on. This mini game is pretty cool, I will say. This is probably one of the most recent mini games. Actually, I think it is the most recent mini game they have added to the game, from what I can remember anyway. And I mean, obviously, you know, the further you go, the harder it gets, and the more time crunch you'll have, and the more kind of, you know, the bigger quota you'll have as well, the more the customer will ask for as well. For that reason, it's really stressful. I will say that. If you're not good with stress, you might not want to play this mini game, but if you're just looking for something just to, I don't know, occupy your time with, this is a pretty good one, I would say. I enjoyed it quite a bit when it came out, and when I was trying to get the achievements for this game as well. So I think it's pretty good. For that reason, I'm gonna give it a 7. I think that's pretty fair to say. I know there's some Fast Foodies ride or dies out there, so hopefully this doesn't upset you too much. But yeah, I think a 7 is pretty fair for this rating. Now we got Fruit Slinger. This is a multiplayer game, but it's also single player. I'm pretty sure this is Animaljam's version of Angry Birds. You know, a very popular game in the mid-2000s. Hopefully I'm not old enough that people don't know what Angry Birds is. I'm sure everybody knows what Angry Birds is. But yeah, kind of simple. You know, instead of the pigs, it's the phantoms. I don't know why I suck at this right now. I'm usually good at this game, but there we go. Finally got them. You know, you just kind of shoot the fruits at the phantoms, I guess, instead of shooting actual birds at the enemies like in Angry Birds. And that's typically like the trend with a lot of these mini games, by the way. It's usually based off of another actual game that came before it, which I don't know if Angry Birds is even an original concept. I'm sure there was similar games before Angry Birds that was like a slinging entity type of game. But you'll be hearing me compare it to like all these kind of old mobile games anyway, for a lot of these mini games anyway throughout the video. That was kind of clean. Okay. Ooh, Kekful still got it. Yeah, I'm not gonna play too much of this because when I get started, I don't stop. Yeah, you know, I wasn't too big of a fan of Angry Birds growing up. I was more of a Bad Piggies kind of guy. Praying some people know what that is. For that reason, I'm gonna give it a 5. I think that's pretty average, so I'll give it a 5. Next here, we got Gem Breaker. Now, I'll feed you in on some Kekful lore. I'm a bit of a pro at this game, or at least I used to be back in the day. I've entered 4 Gem Breaker tournaments tournaments that were hosted, and I won all 4 of them. Yep, that was various tournaments hosted throughout the years. Obviously not official by any means, by the way. It was like purely community ran with like various prizes or whatever given out for it. But I think that should tell you how skilled of a gem breaker player I am. Now, this is on easy difficulty just for the video, just because I don't want to actually have to pay attention when talking about these mini games. But most recently on the channel, during my Q&A video, I actually used gem breaker video content, or footage I should say, in the video, which this mini game and another mini game, if you've been watching the channel a very long time, you'll know shows up in a lot of my videos actually, when when I used to do commentary kind of style things and not just kind of walking around in the game type of thing. Which, off topic, but let me know if you guys want to see that again. But let's get to the rating here. I'm pretty sure it's probably obvious. I'm gonna give this a 10. Okay, I love gem breaker. It's a great mini game. I don't know if this is based off of another mini game outside of animaljam or whatever, the concept of it, but I love it. It's also a multiplayer game. You can play it with buddies. It's got that competitive aspect to it, and high risks, high tension type of thing. It's pretty good. I rated it a 10. I think that's pretty fair. Next here is Spider Zapper, which weirdly enough is in Club Geos, outside of usually being in the minigame menu in the Soul Arcade. This is the only place it is around the game. And this kind of reminds me of those like old arcade machines where things would pop up and you'd have to shoot them. I don't know if anybody even knows what I'm talking about when saying that. That might be just a very specific memory that I have that nobody else has, but I'm assuming some people know the kind of games I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, I like this game. Personally, I use this to aim train for when I play other games, those FPS games that everybody likes to play. It's pretty generic though, the more you go on, the quicker it gets or whatever, that type of thing. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing else I can really say. It's a pretty good mini game, to be honest with you. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it an 8. I actually really like it. But if you have arachnophobia, you might want to look away. I kind of said that way too late, but maybe don't try that mini game if you do. So I'm now just realizing that the minigame menu isn't in alphabetical order. I don't know what order they have it in. Maybe order of, no, not when they made them. I don't know what this order is, but maybe these are all multiplayer. I don't know what kind of way they organize them. I'm not going to try find any logic towards it, but we have Wind Rider here. Okay, this is a multiplayer game as well. Now I don't have arrow keys on my keyboard, so I have to press another key in conjunction with my I, J, K, and L key in order to simulate arrow keys. But this is like a reverse Sky High. That's kind of how I like to look at it. We'll get on to Sky High pretty later on in the video. I feel like this one goes under the radar a lot at a time. People don't talk about the Wind Rider, but everybody's talking about Sky High and stuff. But then again, Sky High has better items, and it actually gives you items. Unlike Wind Rider, you just kind of levitate to the bottom. You get gems out of it, and that's it. It's usually not a whole lot of gems. Maybe people are right. Maybe Wind Rider isn't that great, but I mean, I have fun playing this. It's pretty chill. But yeah, it's kind of easy a lot of the time. I don't know if you have to go towards the bottom there to get the chest, if that gives you more gems. I don't know, but yeah, it's a pretty chill mini game. So I'm gonna give it a 6. 5 is usually gonna be like, yeah, it's all right. It's not the best, but it's not the worst type of thing. But I'm gonna give it a 6 because I liked it. Yeah, my rating. So if you have a problem with it, pick me up in the comments, okay? Next here we have the Claw, which is playable in the Conservation Museum, if you did not know. I'm pretty sure it's also playable in Juice Hut in Crystal Sands, and I want to say somewhere else other than the Soul Arcade and the minigame menu. By the way, if you can't tell, I'm usually going to like the actual places you can play them from around the map as well, by the way. But let's get in here. I used to be obsessed with collecting all the plushies in the game for some god knows reason. I don't know, it's probably autism or something. Pug Fluff plushie, shout out Pug Fluff. But yeah, I was obsessed with collecting plushies, and I've done it 2 times actually. I did it on my original account, Kekful, and then I also did it on Kektropica, which you probably all know what happened to both of those accounts if you've been watching a long time. I mean, this game is total RNG. It doesn't matter where you move your thing around. That's like a common myth. People think like you have to go all the way to the right or something. I'm pretty sure this was like a common myth in order to get a prize guarantee. As you can see, I didn't get a prize there. But from the moment you click yes, it is predetermined whether you're getting a prize or not, no matter where you let go of this little clamp here. Also, I don't know why it's bugged and it's saying 1104 or whatever. This game is just very glitchy at the moment. But I got a fox plushie, like me, Tactful Fox. I mean, it's a pretty basic mini game, but I love the claw, so it's getting a 9 out of 10. I'm sorry if you think that's a pretty egregious score for such a simple mini game, but I love plushies and I love the claw and I love animaljam plushies, so that's my explanation. Beehive attack. Okay, we have best dressed now. I actually really liked this minigame back in the day because you get to wear rare items that you usually wouldn't have. Dress up the coolest. You know what we gotta do for this. Okay, this isn't fair. They just instantly put an elf helmet in my face. I'm gonna use it. And then you got like a rare beard. You got the spike collar. I mean, there's so many good items here. Now, this minigame would be a lot better if they actually updated the item pool. If you go through every single item here, it is from pre-2012 and before. There's not a single item that released after 2012 that is available in this game. And it's so unupdated, or outdated, I should say, that's the actual word, that you can't even choose a tail item. This was before they even added tail items into the game. This is a really ugly outfit, but you know what? I don't care. This is just for the video. I'm not actually locked in. But a thing you'll notice with a lot of these minigames is, as well, these are all usually bot players, meaning it's just AI. They'll randomly vote and they'll randomly put outfits together. That's why there's like zero cohesion in any of these outfits whatsoever, and that's why I only got second place, because anybody that knew true fashion would have voted for me, yet I only got a single vote. Usually when that game has a lot of players in it, it's fun. You know, you can get a lot of people in there and have a good time, but if you're just solo playing that game with no one else in it, you're pretty much just going up against AI, and you're probably not going to win, especially if you're going for that one achievement that makes you win like 5 times in a row. That's like pretty much never gonna happen if you're going up against AI. For that reason, I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. I still like this minigame a lot, but given its issues, its rating gets knocked down a bit. Next here, we got Falling Phantoms. If you're a long-time viewer of this channel, you already know. I actually have to do the arrow key thing again, because I've previously explained. You know, they used to call me a golden Olympus of this game. I was so good at it. But yeah, this kind of has the same issue as Best Dressed, where these are all bots. You can kind of tell because of the items and outfits they're wearing. It's all like pre-2012 items. But I love Falling Phantoms. I don't know why I chose this game to be my usual go-to background gameplay when recording commentary videos back a few years ago, but it usually was. And you know, I'll go back to those. You know, you're probably gonna see this, you know, Falling Phantoms gameplay in the video. Okay, well, I'm not locked in. That's my excuse there, but I definitely had time to dodge that phantom that was coming towards me. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty basic game. You just dodge the phantoms that are coming out of the volcano. God knows why they're even in there in the first place, but hey, let's live their life. But yeah, pretty basic. This is gonna get 10 out of 10 though. Yep, I'm pretty biased, and you're gonna have to live with it. So yeah, Falling Phantoms. Now, we don't have to stray too far from the last minigame, because the next one is right over here, Temple of Trivia, which is double gems right now, so get in on that. Well, it's hot. You probably won't see this when that is actually happening, by the way, because I'm recording this on the 30th of April. I don't know when this video is going to come out. This is just, like the name implies, a trivia minigame. A lot of the time, and I mean a lot of the time, players are just going to guess the answer. They're not going to have an actual answer. Like, why would I know that question? Truly, why would I know that? Like, this is like geographic kind of questions, I guess, which, I mean, it kind of makes sense, National Geographics or whatever, but man, when I took geography in school, we weren't learning about this. We were learning about goddamn rocks, like sedimentary rocks, I think. I don't know. I haven't taken geography class in like 6 years. A lot of the time, though, you just saw the only other player in the minigame leave, by the way. A lot of the time, you are going to see an empty lobby of this minigame, meaning you can cheese the first place achievement in this game, which is usually hard because there used to be a bunch of people playing in it, and there used to be a bunch of bots playing in it as well, like in Falling Phantoms, but for some reason, it doesn't work anymore, I guess. So yeah, I'm just going to answer one question there correct, and you're going to see that, okay, never mind, I'm going to answer 2 questions correct. I meant to do that. I'm going to answer 3 correct. I'm on a roll here, like I actually know these things. I'm just kind of acting up for the camera that I don't actually know these things. Never mind. But as you can see, 4 in a row or whatever, I just get first, and that's it. Usually you'd get the achievement. I already have it on this account, but now I got this little blue star next to me. Usually only get when you win the game, so there you have it. Exciting stuff. Not a big fan of education, mainly because I'm peanut brained, so I'm gonna give it a 3, but also because the minigame is dead. Like, that is the first time I actually have seen another person in that minigame in the last 5 years, and I've played this game a few times in those last 5 years, okay? So with that in mind, there's no challenge, just kind of a free dub, and not only that, there's no AI to even go up against if you really wanted to. So yeah, 3 out of 10, I think is pretty fair. I'm gonna ask you all a favor real quick. Pretend I am underwater right now and I'm playing touch pool because I don't want to recycle my spring bunny in order to go play this game from where it is. This minigame I'm not a big fan of. The only reason I ever played this game was to get the achievements and also to get the plushies, because that's what you unlock when you get every single one of the little urchins, I guess. I don't know if they're all called sea urchins. Whatever it is, the sea life, you know, these things, you know, you collect them all and you get a horseshoe crab plushie, you know, just for the horseshoes, and then the sea urchins, the rays, the hermit crabs, the sea slugs, the sea stars. I just think the plushies are cute, so yeah, sign me up type of thing. For that reason, I'm gonna give it a 4 because the gameplay is like pretty repetitive. Like, other than like them being in 7 different colors, you're pretty much getting the same thing every time, so it's kind of boring. But the plushies are a cool bonus though, and I'm pretty sure that's like the only minigame that actually gives you plushies other than the claw. So there you have it. There you have it. I'm such an idiot. I realized you can play it from here. It's like the whole reason it was added, because it's the aquarium. Okay, next minigame though is Overflow, which I just need to go outside for. It's right here. I'm a big fan of this minigame too. You know, it's a pretty simple game, but like it's a game you can kind of just turn off your brain for, and you know, just it's simple, easy puzzle solving, and you get gems along with it, so it's pretty fun. Yeah, that's literally it. You just choose the pathway and let it rip, and there you go. It's not too hard of a game, and like it's not even like if you mess up you go back all the way to the start. It's just entirely at your own pace. The only thing is, if you get like super far in, like 100 levels in, and you decide you want to take a break and like go AFK or like shut down your computer stuff, then you do have to start all the way back from the beginning because they don't have a progress save feature, unfortunately. I wish they did though, but other than that, this game is like near perfect in my opinion. 9 out of 10. That's pretty much it. Pretty simple mini game. Can turn off your brain too. Next here we have Sky High. Now I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not going to play this entire mini game for this video. It takes like 5 minutes to complete, which I want to get through this video in as quick as I can because my throat has been hurting me all day, even before I started recording, which probably was not a wise decision for me to make in hindsight now, for me to make a video where I have to use my voice. Not to mention, I have plans in about 40 minutes that I also need to talk and use my voice for, so very, very poor planning on my end. But this video has already chalked up to like about an hour and a half in terms of recording so far, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how it's going to turn out in editing and how far this is going to be into the video, but lo and behold, we have Sky High. This has been used in a good few of my backgrounds during the commentary era kind of thing as well. If you guys do remember, it's a pretty good mini game, you know. But why this game is so nostalgic for me anyway is because you could get pirate swords, you could get freedom wings, you could get gloves. I'm pretty sure you could get fox hats at some point if I'm not mistaken. A lot of the clothing betas you guys would consider to be good nowadays, you could get in the Sky High mini game all the way back in 2012, and this was the only way of getting them back then if you didn't get them when they were in stores. And this was before when you know, before Adventures came out, so this was a game a lot of people grinded to get those items, you know, the red pirate sword. You know, I got that back in the day from this, and that's why the red pirate sword is used on my main look. Just a little fun fact for you, because I absolutely love this mini game. And you know, maybe if I do actually finish this for this video, because I'm probably just going to do it because I'm already halfway up now, unless I mess it up, which is going to be pretty funny if I do. Okay, I do. I was trying to edge the cloud. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't know what I meant by that, but I mean, for that reason, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I'm sorry, I'm a nostalgia freak. I love nostalgia. It's kind of why I'm playing this game still. Yeah, Sky High, pretty awesome. Also, side fact, because I don't know when I'm ever gonna have a chance to include this in a video. There used to be this weird Nat Geo website back in the day, like as an advertisement for animaljam, where it was literally just the Sky High minigame with a really weird rendition of the animaljam wolf that was different from the regular wolf in game when you do it in that mini game. I don't know if there was like an end to that, but you know, usually when you lose, it would just tell you to go play animaljam. But I figured I'd throw that in here because it's actually like somewhat relevant to include in this video. I wanted to include that in some kind of video, but I didn't know how or where I would put it. But yeah, figured I'd throw it in here. You know, playing all these mini games again makes me realize I had a lot of phases of going through playing these a lot for background footage and videos, because this was also something I commonly used as background footage back in the day. Now, similar to Falling Phantoms and etc., these players down here are all bots. The only other real player is this brown horse up here, because that's probably a non-member playing it, just like me. And usually, as I said before, you can tell they're bots because of the items they're wearing. I've had a whole video talking about, you know, the hidden bot players on the game, but to be honest, a lot of people just assume that video is probably about the actual bots in the game now by hackers and stuff, so did not really cook up well in future-minded stuff, I guess. But I guess we're taking the loss here, though, unless this bot somehow messes up. You know, I'm just gonna call cheats on that one, even though I messed up a little, you know, a few times. I used to be pro in this game. Not literally, there's just a pro mode in the game that's down here. I don't know if that makes the AI harder or what that even does, but when I was trying to get all the achievements in the game, which I did do, by the way, which that video performed horribly, so hopefully this one performs better. But when I was doing pro mode in this game, I noticed no difference. So yeah, love this mini game though. It's gonna get an 8 out of 10 though, because I don't know, I don't like it as much as the other ones. Next here we have Pest Control. Now I actually really love this minigame because it's a tower defense minigame. You know the harder it goes, you know, the further it goes, the harder it gets, type of thing, and you kind of get to upgrade your little plants and chompers and little critters along the way and stuff. I'm generalizing a whole lot though. You can probably tell I sound tired at this point. I've been playing animaljam minigames for almost an hour and a half at this point. Yeah, I love tower defense games like balloons and stuff, which I'm sure it's what the concept of this game is based off of. So I don't know how many waves there are, if there's like even a limit to it. I've seen people go to like wave 100, wave 200 or whatever. But this game rocks. I like it. It's fun. So I'm not a big hater. You know, I'm a big lover of this game. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It would have been a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't so grindy, to be honest. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I love grindy games as well. I think I'm just saying 9 out of 10 right now because I'm tired and I don't want to, you know, commit to a full grind of this game. But I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Yeah, Pest Control. It's going on the dub scale. Back in Club Geo's again for Phantom Fighter. For some reason, this is the only place it is located in. This is like what? Galaga? Is that the right thing? I don't know. I don't know if I can play this properly actually because I don't have arrow keys on my keyboard, as I said. And I don't know if it lets me use my space bar while also holding down a function key, while also hitting my I, J, K, and L key. This is not a good day for a 70% keyboard. This is also gonna give me carpal tunnel if I keep aiming my hand this way. You can't even tell what way I'm like positioning my hand, by the way. I don't think I'd even be able to take a photo or even describe it as well. You know, maybe I can get a hand cam if, you know, like all those professional esports players use. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, I died. I don't even know how I died, but this is like a retro, you know, throwback type of thing. Maybe this is a strat where I just like spam the things every time. I don't know. I don't know how many levels. I don't remember from when the time I had to get the achievements in this, because that had to have been a good few years ago at this point. Because even when when I made my 100% achievements video, that was like years in the making. Like I've had this account for years. It's circumvented animaljam's wrath, fortunately enough. And yeah, I died again though. But continue my yap. It survived, so I could just continue working away on it type of thing. But we're gonna cut this short here. We're gonna cut Phantom Fighter short here because as I said, I want to get the ball rolling here. Don't want to yap too much on every game. It's gonna get a 5 out of 10. I think that's pretty generous because if I'm playing that properly, I'm gonna have fun. But you know, given outside factors right now, I'm not playing it to my best ability. But this game's good. It's fun, and yeah, I think it's pretty fair. Next up, we have Hedgehog, which is just like a Pac-Man clone type of thing. My game froze for a second there, but with this, we have, I believe, to be 14 games left. But yeah, this is literal just Pac-Man clone. It's whatever. Okay, well, that's some BS. I just died the exact frame he came out of the golden state. It's so dumb. But look, now when they're all golden, they don't want the smoke. They don't want any of this. They want to scurry off away. They're not really about that life. Now, I probably should be saving those. It's not optimal just to use them all up this early on, but it also just made my life harder now to try to get the red things. But now that's life, man. I mean, we're not really playing this seriously right now. We're just playing it for the video type of thing. But yeah, I mean, as I said, it's just a Pac-Man clone, but it's done in a cute way, so I'm not a hater of it. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I'm a lover of the Hedgehog. I love this little guy. Now here we got Spot On. This is this mini game. Completely forgot about this. Yeah, it's a raccoon though. You know, it slowly reveals a photo and you kind of have to guess ahead of time of what it's gonna be. Personally, I don't really care about gems, so you know, we can let it go as far as we want before guessing. But I guess this goes all the way to 150, I'm assuming. I don't remember exactly because I do not. I've probably not played this game since I was like 15. There's a tip here. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty basic. The only recent memory of comparison, I guess, I have for this is that one Tomodachi Life minigame. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I'll edit it in on screen anyway, which I don't even know if it's like even similar actually. I might just be like connecting that for like zero reason. I don't remember. I'm doubting my own memories now, but yeah, I mean, it's an okay minigame. It's not too exciting though. It's not like anybody's favorite. I could guarantee you that. So I'm gonna give it a 4. It's not the worst, but it's certainly not the best, okay? 4 it is for Spot On. Okay, we're back here like almost 12 hours later, I think. Look at my tiger, he's sitting so politely, but here we are on Pillbugs. Not gonna lie, haven't even started this one yet, but I'm not the biggest fan of Pillbugs, okay, most of the time. Mainly because this game takes like a lot of patience and strategy, and like trust me, when getting every achievement in this game, it's like the most grindy thing ever, I feel like. But no, I'm sure there's plenty of Pillbug fans out there, but yeah, I mean, there's not much really to say here. Like every level is kind of the same. It does get like a little bit harder and there's like a little bit more strategy to it the more you go, as like, you know, how typical animaljam mini games go, I guess. But yeah, quite simple gameplay otherwise. So I'm gonna give it a 4 because I'm not a big fan of it, but I could see why people do you know, appreciate it anyway if they were big fans, that's for sure. Up next we got Super Sort. This game is kind of fun. No, okay, I have to do the key thing again. It's just kind of like a sorting game, I guess. That's it. You know, you put the pink in the plastic and you put the blue in the paper. Pretty sure like the more you go on, the more kind of you know, little, I don't even know what to call these, little treadmill system, I guess. The more levels there are of them, so there's like more strategy with that in mind, as you can see right there. So it gets a little bit harder anyway. I don't remember if there's like a third type of trash, I guess, that gets introduced or not. I don't really remember. And it gives you fun little facts about how to be environmentally friendly. I think most minigames do that in hindsight though, but I mean, yeah, the more you go on, the harder it does get, as I said. But there's a certain charm about this specific minigame that I like a lot more. I don't know if it's just because it's pretty simple. You know, you put one color in the other container. Yeah, I mean, I like it. For that reason, I'm gonna give it a 7. I think a 7 is pretty good for this. You know, it's not the most groundbreaking minigame, and it's not one of my favorites by any means, but it's definitely up there for sure. It's definitely high up in the scale. So a 7 is pretty fair, I think. Next here we have long shot. I kind of expected this to be in a pondale, but for some reason it's in Coral Canyons right next to a river, even though the game looks like a very pondale style kind of game. Yeah, by the way, I don't know why this is glitching at the top. This is not my actual score. I don't think I've played long shot on this account, but yeah, this is just a pretty simple mini game. It's like you shoot an armadillo out and see how far you can get. There's little beavers here, or water streams, or I think they're actually air streams, something like that. I don't know. That'll propel your armadillo even further if you don't have enough momentum just from the initial shot. Thus the name long shot, because you're shooting this guy a long way. But yeah, there's like a variety of different sections here. There's like or biomes, I guess is probably the best way to say it. It goes from like sands to snow, I think lava at some point, normal grass, you know. Yeah, okay, that was a gutter ball there. I got 1 gem for that. I don't know if there's like any real strategy. I just kind of let it go close to the middle before swinging it out, like around here, and then doing this when I was getting the achievements for this. I don't know if there's like any better strategy. Maybe you guys can let me know, but yeah, I mean, we're getting pretty far this time around, and we have like a very, very large amount of momentum going here. But I'm also gonna give this a 7. I like this mini game a lot. It's pretty fun, and you don't have to use a lot of brain power for it. Kind of a common trend with some of these mini games and why I like them, so you don't have to use your brain for them. But like, I think the mini games I like the most in this game are the games you can just like turn your brain off to and just like play in the background. So yeah, I think a 7 is pretty fair for this. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort, and you get to just kind of watch you know, this little guy fly high in the sky, and he's a happy little guy at the end, happy little camper. But yeah, that's long shot. Now we got Swoopy Eagle. This can be found in the Lost Temple of Zyos as well. I don't know, it's available to be played in 2 locations, but this is the bane of my existence. Now in my achievement video, which I know I'm referencing a lot, I'll probably leave it in the end card or in the description if you haven't watched it, but this is legit the worst mini game ever. This is like the Flappy Bird equivalent animaljam mini game, and the hardest achievement in this game is like I forget what it's called. I'll throw it on screen if I remember to edit it in, but it requires you getting 40 in a row without dying, which is so painful to do, because if you, as I said, don't get like 40 in a row, you're just screwed. For me, it legitimately, I don't know how long it took me. It took at least a few months of me like on and off trying to get that achievement, and you know, hate to say it, but like it's almost like you get in flow state. You know, you have to warm up to the mini game, get in a flow state before like being perfectly able to just flow through it. But you know, if you achieve all the achievements in this mini game, you know, hats off to you. But this mini game, it sucks. Okay, I don't like it. I'm giving it a 2 out of 10. And that's me being very generous. I think that's very generous. I wasn't a big Flappy Bird fan most of the time back in the day, so I'm not going to be a big Swoopy Eagle fan either. So it's getting a 2 out of 10. Now we have Double Up. I like this minigame for one reason and one reason only, because it still uses beta sprites. You're supposed to remember where all the animals are, and then like it's like a matching thing, and it kind of starts the timer or whatever. I wasn't looking at all. I don't know how I'm getting 3 in a row, but I wasn't looking when they were showing these off. But you're on a timer pretty much, and you know, that's pretty much the game. It's just a matching memory game. So I like the novelty factor of, you know, the beta sprites. That's purely just probably because they didn't think to update this mini game, but it's so old that there's this toucan, I guess, in the game still. Like this guy, I don't know what animal that even is supposed to be. I don't think it was ever really explained to this day what this animal was, but I'm pretty sure it only appears here. I think it might appear somewhere in Crystal Sands actually. But I mean, I have pretty bad memory. I'm not even just saying that, like my memory just genuinely sucks. But it's kind of like pairs as well. You know, if you're gonna play a matching mini game, you know, you might as well play with someone else type of thing with pairs. So I guess Double Up is kind of obsolete in that sense now. But if you're going solo mode, just trying to see how far you can get, then yeah, I guess Double Up may maybe be for you. Easy to choose the achievement for this though, because you can just screenshot where all the animals are now. Well, you didn't hear that from me. I'm gonna give it a 4, really, because of the artwork. That might be really dumb, but I'm gonna give it a 4. I think that's a good enough reason to give it a 4. Okay, now we have Mira Says. This is another memory minigame. This is more like, it reminds me of Bop It, except just not really, actually. I don't know where I was going with that. Now, this is just like, you press the colors, you repeat what Mira is saying, obviously. What I do like about this, though, there is no time crunch. So you can just take your time at it, and it's okay. Okay, I messed that one up. Okay, alright. Yeah, my bad memory is showing. Well, I mean, I like this one more than most of the memory mini games, purely because of the, lack of time crunch on you. It kind of removes that stress factor that you might have. For that reason alone, I'm gonna give it a 4. These kind of memory repeat games, they're not too high up on my list, but I think a 4 is pretty generous for this one anyway. Don't have to move too far, just down the hallway. Gem Ball, playable in Chamber of Knowledge. Pretty sure this is literally just pinball. Yep, it is literally just a pinball minigame. So if you like pinball minigames, this might be up your alley. I'm trying to think of what else to say about this minigame, but I think these last few minigames are very simple concepts. Maybe this is, the order they have them in the minigames. On the minigame menu are, there's maybe some kind of reason on why they got sorted this way, but I'm pretty sure you have to match all 3 of these up before you run out of little pinballs here, but it doesn't look like I'm winning this time, getting all 3 of them. But I think with a lot of these older mini games anyway, like Mira Says, like Gem Ball, like Double Up and stuff, that you can obviously tell these are really old mini games, pre-2012 mini games. They're very their concepts are very simple. This is just pinball, as I said, where they're just memory mini games, given that kind of game animaljam was back then, I guess. But I'm gonna give this a 3. I'm not a big fan of pinball in general, so I'm not too big on this one personally, but I could definitely see why people would like this, especially if they were a pinball fan, I guess. Okay guys, pretend I'm underwater again, because we have Best Dressed. Oh wait, I can't even play this one. Okay, well, I guess I do have to recycle my spring bunny now. That's a bummer, bro. Oh, here we go. We can do Best Dressed now, which I'm pretty sure was literally just here. So yeah, I'm misremembering. Okay, it's up here. This is where it is. Best Dressed underwater. It's kind of similar to the land version, except it's just underwater. You're an underwater animal using underwater items. However, you are definitely going against bots here if you play this one. Okay, that is unfortunately going to be the case every time you do play this minigame, because nobody goes underwater anymore. It's a sad truth, but it is quite unfortunate. I do like this minigame though for what it is, but given the fact that it is so unpopular, it's kind of hard to get an actual game going for Best Dressed underwater. Look here, 2 of the bots dressed the exact same. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I would give it a similar rating to Best Dressed on Land, but I'm gonna give it a 3, purely because underwater items I personally love a lot of the time, but with a lot of them in here, it's hard to make good outfits with it. And not only that, this minigame is dead. It's full of bots. Next here we got kind of another clone minigame. This is just Jamaa Derby, except with dolphins for some reason. I mean, instead of jumping over hay bales and mud and stuff, I'm pretty sure you just jump over coral and stuff. This has the same issue of just bots in the game. As you can see there, they all kind of came in at the same time. But yeah, you're just gonna go in the golden ring. So it's not exactly like Jamaa Derby. It has some kind of differences to it, I guess. But very same concept anyway. You're just going from one end of the screen to the other in a race type of thing. Personally, I like this minigame a lot, actually, despite the way I'm talking about it right now. But as I said, it has the same issue as every other minigame like this with the bots. Can't get an actual competitive game going for this, purely because there's not enough people playing these minigames now. So you're not gonna get a good session of it anyway going, unless you actually set it up with people to do it. And I lost at the last second there, so this game sucks. No, but I'll probably give it a 6. I think that's pretty fair. And it gives you fun facts about dolphins as well. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. I'll give it a 6. That's Splash and Dash. Next up here we have Eat 'em Up. This is probably one of my favorite mini games as well. It's kind of like a incremental kind of game, I guess. You kind of just eat other fish, get bigger, and the bigger you get, the more fish you can eat. Like these little orange guys here, I can't eat quite yet, but when I get bigger, you know, I'm snacking on them for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty simple mini game. It's one you can turn your brain off to as well. It doesn't take that much concentration, and yeah, it's a pretty simple mini game as a whole, I guess. I used this maybe sometimes in footage back in the day. I don't know if any videos on this channel actually had it on any Eat 'em Up gameplay anyway, but I do like this mini game quite a lot, and it's one of the mini games I played pretty often, even before I started up, you know, this YouTube channel anyway. There's a lot of the time with these mini games nowadays, I just play them just for background footage or whatever, but this one was, you know, an exception. I just played it because it was actually kind of fun. I'm gonna give it a 10. I don't know if that's too high for this personally, but I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 10. I like this mini game a lot, and I mean, yeah, I like it. I think that's it. Rare footage of seeing somebody else actually underwater for once, by the way. I don't know why this person's down here. Next we have Phantom's Treasure though. This is like the second last minigame in the menu, so yeah. I mean, it's a pretty easy minigame though. It's just like I don't know how to describe this minigame, but I want to say I have this like really specific memory of playing like a point and click kind of game like this, where you try to find things around a map like this on some kind of Windows XP kind of game. But I mean, you know, you just kind of click around for the things at the bottom here. You try to find them, and you know, the more you get wrong, the more time it's added. I assume you do kind of need to do this in like a pretty quick fashion in order to get the maximum profits anyway. But I mean, it's a pretty simple mini game as a whole though. You know, you just point and click to the things and then that's it. That being said, I'm gonna give it a 3. It does what it needs to do. You know, there's 2 versions, and yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. 3 is all it gets. It's a pretty basic mini game, so yeah. Absolutely love the fact that they put a mini game in the Canyons pathway. But this is Twister. This is the last game on the list, but you pretty much just run away from, you know, a hurricane like a Twister here as an eagle. This is like the better version of Swoopy Eagle in my opinion, even though the only similarities they have are you play as an eagle and that's it. But I don't know, I like this mini game a lot, even though it is quite simple. But you just go around, go into the rings to get faster, that type of thing, and you know, avoid the blockades in your way, because that'll slow you down. That's pretty much it. A fun mini game though. I wouldn't say you have to use a whole lot of brain power for it, in my opinion. Like, I'm not using a whole lot of brain power for it right now, and I'm sick. So you know, it's alright. I'm gonna give it an 8. I think an 8 is a pretty good rating for this. It's not too high, but it's also not average, because I think this is a good mini game. I think it's above average, so we'll give it an 8. And you know, I just completed it there, as you can see. So yeah, 8 for Twister. Yeah, that's gonna wrap up the video here. Obviously a very long one, and I don't think I'll be doing another long video for another while anyway. I do want to finish off with saying there is so many games I obviously didn't play in this video, some of them being like the 3 pet mini games and the micro games I kind of referenced at the start of the video. That will be in a second part, which will be members only. Sorry, yeah, you're getting paywalled for more content. I mean, these aren't like full-on fledged mini games anyway, so I don't think it's like scummy of me to do that, but gotta have something for the members, which gives me a nice little segue into thanking this month's members. Of course, thank you all for supporting the channel. It does go a long way and it doesn't go unnoticed. I very much appreciate it. And if you're interested in joining the channel as well, you get extra content, some cool perks along with it, and your name at the end of the screen here, as you can see. You just hit the join button, and yeah, thank you again to the members. And that'll do it for this video. I'm sure I will have another very long video in the future, so if you enjoyed this and got to the end, make sure to comment the word pineapple. Thank you and goodbye.